On this channel, I reviewed and ranked every single PETA game, which now begs the question, how in the world am I going to keep milking this series? Okay, so I don't plan on making a PETA video just for the sake of making a PETA video. I want every single video to have a good amount of value in it. This video was originally going to be me looking at a bunch of different articles that PETA wrote about video games because they're all just laughably bad. So the first thing I do is read this Animal Crossing article and write a script on it. And like I said, it was originally going to be in a bigger video with a bunch of other articles that PETA wrote, but then I found this Twitter thread that has PETA arguing with a lot of people over this article, and I figured this needs its own video. It's probably one of the saddest things I've seen on Twitter, and that's saying something because it's Twitter. By the way, follow my Twitter, I promise it's pretty cool. So today we're going to take a look at PETA's vegan guide to Animal Crossing New Horizons. If you don't know what Animal Crossing is, it's a life simulation game. You can design your own house, your own island, and make friends with all of your cute animal neighbors. And some other stuff, of course, but that's the gist of it. I've been playing Animal Crossing ever since I was a kid, and this game did nothing but make me love animals more. Sounds wholesome, right? It is, but of course PETA had to find their own problems with it. Is fishing in Animal Crossing vegan? Fishing isn't vegan. You shouldn't fish in real life, so you shouldn't do it in the game either. Fishing in general has nothing to do with being vegan. Yeah, some vegans also try not to use any animal products in general, but you technically can still fish for sport and be a vegan, but I will cut them some slack here because I do understand what they're getting at. The next line in the article says, sure, unlike in real life, the fish in the game don't feel pain. Oh, well, that's some great news. I guess fishing in Animal Crossing is actually harmless? So PETA kind of contradicts themselves very early on. To the article's credit, they do explain how fishing in the real world can be harmful to the planet, but while they're doing this, they're tearing down a very popular, very well loved, and harmless video game for no reason. It also says you can donate them to Blathers. I'm not sure why donate is in quotation marks. You literally donate the fish. You can see them swimming around moments after you do. They never really elaborate on this either. This article has many more points against Animal Crossing, but here's the thing about how they're going about all of this. In Animal Crossing, you can walk up and talk to bears, which is obviously something you should not do in real life. And PETA, let's be real with one another. Which is safer, everyone going fishing or everyone talking to bears? I'm only making this comparison because PETA just picks the most convenient things to hate in this article. And PETA's logic here is that fishing in the game will either influence kids to fish in real life or just show them that it's okay to fish. And using PETA's logic, I really don't think you can have the fishing argument without also having the bear argument. Okay, let's go back to how PETA wants you to play the game. You're not allowed to catch bugs, clams, or donate anything to the museum. So in other words, you're not allowed to take advantage of like a third of the game, and if you can't make money from the fish and the bugs, then good luck taking advantage of the rest of the game. I also don't think PETA realizes how educational donating to the museum can be. Blathers always offers you some knowledge on the creature you just donated, but I do get it, education is less important than the life of a video game fish. What would a vegan eat on a desert island? Fruit! So they then pretend like eating fruit in the game replaces the problem that they created by removing fishing and bug catching. I don't even know if they know that eating fruit isn't required in the game, so why is it even mentioned? It's like they just wanted to highlight how the game positively portrays fruit, which I guess is fine, it just feels very random. Make sure not to wear any fur or leather in the game or build a doghouse. Again, if you're going to keep bringing up these cherry-picked things, then you can't ignore my bear analogy. No kid in the world is going to put on a leather jacket in the game and think, wow, I want real leather. Sure, they might want a leather jacket, but it's up to the parents to not give them real leather. And the doghouse thing is even more random. It's just a decoration in the game. It's not like a villager is forced to move in there and get chained up. But for some reason, PETA felt the need to explain why doghouses are terrible in real life. On one hand, this is educational, but on the other hand, who the hell puts down a doghouse in Animal Crossing in a malicious way? Just think about how stupid that sounds. Is Tom Nook exploiting you? Tom Nook is a tanuki or a raccoon dog who often are killed for their fur. Others like him in the real world are beaten, electrocuted, gassed, or skinned alive. Cut him some slack. Let me get this one straight. They do not seem to be denying the fact that Tom Nook exploits you. In fact, it seems like they agree that he does. So what they're saying is, as long as your species whose race, heritage, or whatever it is commonly oppressed or abused, then you can't be mad when they exploit you. If you say so, PETA, but that sounds insane to me. The article then says how they love Harvey because he's vegan, love Isabel because she might be vegan. They then show you ways that you can spread animal rights in Animal Crossing, like dedicating your island name to the cause, putting something supportive as your passport phrase, making custom designs to wear, or make a bulletin post instructing visitors to leave wildlife alone. If I go to your island and read this, I am immediately leaving. Fishing, catching bugs, and exploring the island are the main 3 things you can do when visiting another person's island. Take that away and you're really left with nothing to do. Why is a person like this even going to have someone over to their island to begin with? And who in their right mind would dedicate their island name to this? Or do any of this? If someone reads this article and actually agrees with everything that they read, I assume they're not picking up this game. Or maybe they will to prove a point to Nintendo, but if that's the case, I think Nintendo's winning here. How can you enjoy your island in an animal-friendly way? Here they basically give a list of doing nothing. They then link to a Twitter post that is a video of villagers raiding the museum, which is genuinely funny to me as it just comes across as a complete shitpost. But then you realize that they're serious with this, and then it becomes even funnier. Anyway, hashtag Blathers is over party. I am sure that took off. This is where the video is gonna start getting really good. This Twitter thread is just pathetic. Someone replied to the tweet saying, "You literally fished those fish and gave them to Blathers. His museum has nothing unless you donate. Ironic, huh?" PETA then replies, "No, we're raiding islands to free fish." And then they added this gif. I hate to break it to you, PETA, but there's 8 protesters there. There can only be 8 villagers on an island at one time. At least one of those 8 villagers are an imposter, and they caught all of those fish. And I'm not the only one to notice that. Someone replied, "Y'all are not even good trolls." And then PETA replied with this gif of some guy nodding, like saying, "If you say so." To PETA's credit, they are fantastic trolls. Not sure why they're bragging about it though. A bunch of people replied pointing out how many animals that PETA has killed, and PETA responds with one of a few copy and paste messages every time. And first of all, that's not the only problematic thing with PETA. And second of all, even when our reply points out how this video isn't productive, they still send the same message and ignore the fact that what they're doing is not productive. Someone says, "I honestly believe more people would be vegetarian or vegan if PETA wasn't constantly doing stupid stuff like this." And PETA replies with this gif from the Big Lebowski. Another said, "Y'all really out here wasting your time protesting for virtual animals while real animals are suffering due to your neglect." Aight, PETA, go off I guess. PETA replies with, "You can work on more than one thing at a time." Okay, but what if the team that is dedicated to making fun of Animal Crossing and running this Twitter was also doing something productive? Yes, PETA, I do believe you when you say that you can multitask. The problem is you're not multitasking for good. You're multitasking to troll people. Someone sent them this gif and PETA replied with this. I'm not even sure what they're trying to say here. Someone said, "Imagine working for an organization that makes its members play video games for the purpose of not having fun." You mad? What are they even doing? At this point, they're doing nothing but antagonizing people. I'm just gonna throw some more immature replies at you real quick because there's too many to show in this one video. This is not how a company should run on Twitter. This entire thing actually baffles me. Is there another company that just acts like this on Twitter? I'm not talking like one single person, but like an entire company. Let's just say that you've watched every single video I've made on PETA and you're still somehow on their side. How can you defend this? Like in general, you can just not believe the articles I threw at you about how PETA is such a bad company. But how can you defend someone who is so clearly trolling the people that reply to their tweets and not even like trying to be civil with half of these? PETA is such an immature troll company. Nothing that I have shown you in this video is even remotely productive. Sure, they can send you their articles about how they're not that bad, but the fact that they have to say that they're not that bad is kind of bad. This one might be my favorite. Let's say you all bought the game at the lowest price, $50. That's $350 into the picture of the people you're protesting against. And assuming that only the 7 people in frame bought the game and not accounting for the price of each Switch. You think too much, pal. I love this person. They basically pointed out an indisputable fact and PETA had no idea how to reply. Someone said, "Stop using games we like to push your agenda, you fucking assholes." And they replied saying that they're gonna keep going. How insane do you have to be to see the fallback from all of this and think that no, we should keep going, this was a good idea. There's no way this account is run by adults or people who aren't trolling. PETA then just shrugs. In my opinion, they just admitted that they are trolls, and they probably have been their entire existence. They probably got exactly what they wanted out of this article and this entire Twitter thread. I'm sure this isn't the first, and I'm sure this isn't the last time they've done something like that, and I'm sure they're excited to do it again, and this is just ungodly sad. And just to clarify, every single tweet that I showed you today is under the same Twitter thread. I also went to the original video on their TikTok where they did reply to a couple people, but it wasn't a dumpster fire like it was on Twitter. They also have 2 other Animal Crossing videos on their TikTok, but there's nothing new here. It just covers some stuff that we already covered from the article. And if you're wondering about the rest of their TikTok, I didn't look through it too much, but if there's anything worth reviewing, I'll let you guys know in a future video. By the way, we're not even done the article. Is PETA against Animal Crossing New Horizons? Call me crazy, but by the sounds of everything, I think yes. So here they give Animal Crossing a little bit of credit for showing people that animals are individuals too and have their own personalities. They also admit that the game could help people feel closer to animals as a result. At the end of the day, their point is that all animals, big and small, should be treated with respect. And you know what? I completely agree with that, but it's literally just Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing isn't hurting anybody. I was raised on it, I still play it from time to time, and guess what? I don't fish. I don't want to go fishing. It doesn't sound that fun. I don't wear leather. I don't wear fur. I also eat fruit. I don't have my dog in a doghouse. And guess what? I know a lot of other kids who grew up in Animal Crossing. This game is harming nobody. But you know what is doing harm in the world? PETA is. Alright, there's PETA's vegan Animal Crossing New Horizons guide for you. Make sure you're subscribed because I do plan to cover the rest of the really tone-deaf articles that PETA made about video games. Thanks for watching, and I hope you all have a fantastic Tuesday.